All right, like we said, the greatest podcast.
Yes, the greatest podcast ever.
And if you're watching it on YouTube,
even better.
Thank you. Sincerely, though, thank you.
No, yeah, actually, thank you. Make sure to subscribe.
Yes, please comment, engage with us.
Yes, comment. Follow us on.
We're not weird.
On our separate YouTube channels. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Grindr. Follow us on all the things.
Oh.
Wait, what?
I will play waiting music.
Ooh. Do, 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 do.
So I'm playing around with this new toy I got. It's like a little synth with a stylus screen here. It was first shown in the Beatles Get Back documentary, and I saw a bunch of these on Amazon shortly after that. So it's actually a lot of fun. You'll annoy your living partner with. Oh. It's kind of cool.
If you find yourself dealing with an unexpected backstory and a preponderance of exposition, then the sequel rules do not apply, because you are not dealing with a sequel. You are dealing with the concluding chapter of a trilogy.
Hey, Mr. Young, isn't that him?
Hey.
Can you break a log like that?
Don't know. Never been attacked by tree.
This Organized Chaos podcast is brought to you by JEMS Art Studio. JEMS Art Studio is an online store that allows access to prints that you can use for most anything, obviously as just a picture, or as a wallpaper, or as a bookmark, or anything you can think of. You can find JEMS Art Studio at etsy.com/shop/JEMS Art Studio. This podcast is also brought to you by listeners like you. Thank you. Hello and welcome to an Organized Chaos podcast. Joining me is Bobby, and I actually just want to congratulate anyone who's listening to this right now. Congratulations. You have found the best single episode of any podcast in the history of the universe.
That is
well
correct.
Done. Well
that
done. You have chosen well.
You chose wisely.
This podcast will make your life better. We don't know how, but congratulations.
And good for you.
And I don't want to oversell this podcast, but we do have some great topics, Bobby.
Yes.
We have changed the lineup. We were gonna do a whole screen thing, but Omicron is just tearing through like everywhere. So I'm not comfortable going to theaters. I'm not comfortable, be like, hey, Bobby, go to the theater. No.
Yeah,
no.
and we respect each other's health.
Yeah.
Not be like, and we already kind of said, it's going to be on streaming in February. Yeah, so we might wait a minute.
Yeah, we'll see. What's it going to be streaming on?
Paramount, I believe.
Oh, God, Paramount.
You can sign up for a free weekend.
That's true. But
or you could also have great Star Trek, Stu.
Yeah, you're not wrong. All the Star Trek series are on there. That's the biggest draw for me.
And I believe the first time, the complete original Twilight Zone.
Ooh,
There is a bunch of the old ones. I'm kind of hammering my way through it.
Yeah.
It's hard because I want to watch them in the order that they aired. But then I'll find myself just going through and being like, oh, that was a great one.
Yeah, the classics.
and then just, oh, wait, that was a great one. You'll see, that was really good. Ooh, I want to watch both of these. I'll watch that one, then I'll watch that one. Ooh, there's that one too. You could just, you get lost. It's the same with Star Trek. It's hard to watch it in order. like with Next Gen and the original series.
I was about ready to say DS9. You almost have to watch in order. You can jump around, but you gotta jumping around in the right order. Still,
you could have better luck jumping around with the original cast films. Probably.
Even
I don't think there's too many ones that carry over, with probably the exception of Wrath of Khan and Search for Spock.
Wrath of Khan and Search for Spock, and then Voyage Home. Voyage Home is directly after Search for Spock, because they don't even have the Enterprise in that one.
They don't. That's right. They land the Vulcan ship in San Francisco.
Yeah, the Klingon cloaking device. Yeah,
that's right. That's right. No, it was a Klingon ship, not a Vulcan ship.
Yeah, no, they made. I like that.
It's been a while since I've seen that one. The only thing I really remember about it are whales. The lady from Child's Play.
Yes.
And nuclear vessels.
Yes.
And that cop looking at him like, no.
Yeah, no, I'm not telling you anything.
No.
Yeah, the cop just giving him a look like, you are the worst spy in the history of the universe.
And you're Russian? No. Meanwhile, we see Johnny tossing a football, going to his friend Mark in the background.
But, yeah, we didn't go to the theater to see Scream 5, so we didn't do the Scream-a-thon this week. But we did.
We're trying to avoid spoilers. I know I am.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I don't know any spoilers, so I can't really spoil it.
I'm knowing it's getting mixed reviews. I've heard from one person who was not necessarily a fan of the franchise, just kind of walked in because they know the franchise name.
Mm-hmm. They
said, well, it was very predictable. Every kill I saw come in. Everyone who was going to die I saw come in. I knew who the killer was. And it's just kind of like, okay. That's all you took away from it?
Mm-hmm.
You seen any other ones? Well,
yeah.
No. And then just went, okay. So that one you nailed the target audience by it then.
Yeah. Well, we'll get more into that because we're still going to talk about Scream 3. We were going to do Scream 3, 4, and 5, but now we're just doing Scream 3. And it kind of worked out because also Peacemaker came out just recently, the first 3 episodes.
It did.
I absolutely did want to watch that and talk about that. So, and 3 episodes is a lot. So, it'd be good to talk about that and get those cleared out.
About 45 minutes apiece?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then following up what we did last week, we're slowly working our way up to Cobra Kai. We're going to talk about The Karate Kid 2. Which,
which features a lot of rage.
Yeah. It's
a lot of unchecked aggression.
Yeah. Are we ready to roll into Scream 3?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yes. Scream 3.
Obvious, or as I like to call it, Scream 3, the obvious disappearance of Williamson.
Yeah. This is the first one not written by him.
Yeah, it's very noticeable.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't when I first read this name, I thought written by Ethan Kruger because I saw it real quickly. I was like, oh, Ethan. No. Ehren. Yeah.
I mistaked it for Ethan the first time I glanced at it recently too.
But he is probably most famous for writing Transformers 2, 3, and 4. So he did this right before probably rolling into those movies. Yeah. I mean, I'll go ahead and say this right up front. This movie is better than those ones, so yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it's better than any Transformers movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. One thing I did think was interesting was the opening kill.
Thought it was kind of ballsy because I consider Cotton part of he's part of the original cast.
Yeah. Well, he's barely in the first one.
Yeah,
but he's a big role in the second one.
Yeah. But he's a pretty big role in the second one.
Yeah.
And, I would say that from what I understand of the fan base, I would say that 1 and 2 are definitely held in a high regard.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Well,
yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen 4. Haven't seen 5 yet. But so far, going through this, those are the 2 better ones.
up to the point of the release of this film, those 2 were definitely. Some would even. I know that some people have said that 2 is better than the first one. I don't know about.
I won't go that far.
I wouldn't go. It's good. It doesn't surpass the original. That rarely happens in this genre, in my opinion.
No, they totally talk about sequels that surpass the original, and I would definitely say Scream 2 does not qualify.
No, it does not. It does not. Some of the films in there they did are also ones that are very common for argument and debate.
Yeah. Well, Godfather, I thought was a cop-out on Star Wars. I brought up last time, though. It's total cop-out.
It is, because, if you're comparing, Jedi to Empire, I mean, one had Muppets, one had depth and story.
Yeah.
Cotton Weary, sorry.
Yeah, he was our big kill at the beginning, which I thought was, part of me thought was clever, because it's like, oh, it's a returning character, giving you the idea, oh, maybe the opening kill won't be an opening kill. But then again, I'm also like, it's Cotton. I don't care.
Yeah, it's Cotton. It's not like it's, the core three.
No.
It's not Gale, Dewey, or Sidney.
Well, I feel like...
Cotton,
Well, that's the other thing. I think it's worth noting out. Like, this movie really solidified, like, the core three. Essentially, you're going to have Sidney, Gale, and Dewey in pretty much, it seems like, all these movies. We'll see what they do in 5. I actually would be interested if they mix it up in 5.
I've seen all 3
I doubt they will. Yeah, no, they're all 3 in the trailer. Yeah, they're all 3 in the movie. I don't think
all 3 are going to make it. I'm kind of already telling myself that one of them will die.
Yeah.
I don't know who, but one of them will.
Well, I don't know if one of them will die or one of them will be the killer. In which case,
I'm prepared for one of them to die.
Yeah.
At this, I am. I hate to say it.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm right, I'm really going to be mad at myself.
Mm-hmm.
But Dewey.
Yeah. Well, he was supposed to die in the first one. Yeah.
He was, but he's had enough close calls.
Yeah. He gets...
someone's luck is going to run out. And I mean, from what it looks like in the trailers, I take it the marriage isn't going well. Or at least still going. From what I've seen of trailers.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. I mean, he looks like when he's living in a trailer by himself and he has a few empty liquor bottles on there. I doubt Gale is living with him.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe. Maybe that's how she rolls. You don't know.
Yeah. Maybe she goes hard in the paint.
She seems like the type.
Well, I did read something interesting, since I know that the whole cast has been doing interviews recently about, like, the franchise and everything. I did read one from Courteney Cox, and she was talking about this film and how much she regrets the hair decision, her hair choice, and the bangs.
No.
I thought that was kind of funny. It's like, she's like, out of the franchise, it's like, anything that you regret in any of them? My bangs in Scream 3. Just how quickly she answered it. It was like,
wow. I didn't even note them. So,
well, I noticed it because when I was watching it with the wife, that she immediately said something about it. And I was like, oh, what is that, like a bad? She's like, yeah, that's a choice. That was a choice. And I went, oh, like that. Oh, okay. So I take it, and the more I looked at it, I was like, God, that kind of does not look. No, that was a choice.
Yeah.
I see it, and it's kind of hard to unsee once it brings attention to it. It's hard to, because, admittedly, in this series, she is my favorite character.
Yeah. So she's definitely the most interesting, and
yeah.
And
for this one not being written by Kevin, I kind of liked what they did with her in a sense in this one, but they kind of reset her in a sense. She was kind of more like Gale from the first film. Like, kind of met her. Well, we were introduced to the franchise first in the second film in the opening scene.
Yes.
And, it was Omar Epps and Jada Pinkett. Mm-hmm. They were at the movie theater watching a movie called Stab, which was based on the events from the first Scream film. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like this universe's in meta film franchise. It's this universe's Scream, which I believe, so I think it's, which they later find out in 4 that I guess it's only the first 3 Stab movies have anything, or the first 4 Stab or 3 Stab movies have anything to do with Sidney Prescott. After that, they just kind of go off and do their own thing. Yeah. Which is kind of like a take on a lot of those other franchises, not to name anyone, Jason.
Yeah. I didn't even remember.
Freddy did too. Yeah. Freddy did as well. And Wes was directing that one, so I mean, he does poke fun at himself.
Oh yeah.
And he didn't, and pretty much as he has the same opinion of it as I know Carpenter had. Well, every time someone comes to me with an idea of making a Halloween movie, all I do is this, and a check lands in my hand.
There you go.
All right, Carpenter.
Yeah, something to be said for that.
That's why, my opinion, he's one of the best.
Mm-hmm.
But let's talk about this one some more.
We haven't even touched my notes. We got like 0.1.
Yeah, so we're at Cotton dying first, and it's revealed that the killer has a voice changer, just like the rest. It gives us classic Ghostface. What is that actor's name?
Roger Jackson.
Roger L. Jackson. Yes, here it is. Yeah. So it's that his iconic voice of, Ghostface, that hello. So we start off with that. First it sounds like some woman that who's calling Cotton, and then it changes to Ghostface. So this thing can change people's voices, and then later, when Cotton's girlfriend is attacked, that we later see, we hear Cotton's voice. So it can obviously has different voices. So that's something new that is an addition to this film.
Yeah.
So that's like a new tech that the Ghostface is using.
And it's worth noting, when you use it, like, it completely changes your voice. Like, you can't even hear your voice when you're talking. It just, that's your voice now.
Yeah, because we've seen in, like, the first Scream, even at the end during the reveal, like, when they're talking, we even hear Billy, like, screaming at Sidney, and we still hear his voice, and the voice changers over.
Yeah.
Like, this one, your voice is completely covered and gone.
Yeah.
But what I find is interesting is not only that we later see it has everyone's different voice on there, but it has its toning, so it's able to get the tonation of somebody down, how they do speech patterns, like all of that little nuances that make an individual them.
Yeah.
Somehow this box replicates it. It's a little far-fetched, but it's a cool idea.
I mean, it's a cool idea. I'm not even sure how he got, like, all those voices. Like, how the fuck did he get Billy's voice? I mean, it's all over the board on the voices he gets here.
What, Billy? You mean Maureen? I
Yeah.
never used Billy's voice.
No, he uses Billy's voice when he's chasing her. I'm pretty sure.
When? Like, out on the movie set? Like the Woodsboro?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Mama Faber said that woman was a slutbag whore who flashed her shit all over town like she was Sharon Stone.
Because let's face it, your mother was no Sharon Stone.
Your mother was fucking my father.
Huh.
Like,
because I remember he uses the mom's voice there.
Yeah, he does use the mom's voice too. Yeah, no, he uses any voice he wants. I feel like there's no, like, actual rules.
Yeah, there
isn't this thing.
But it's weird though when you see it. There's like maybe 5 buttons on that thing.
Yeah,
I mean, I've counted at least 8 voices.
Yeah, he just does whatever the fuck he wants.
Does he cycle them in? Are there like memory cards that store different ones? What is the labeling system for this? Do you have it labeled for efficiency? Because that seems only right. Or do you have to carry both on you at all times?
Yeah.
At that point, you need. I imagine I have this Halloween costume. You can't really carry a lot with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it'd be nice if they set up some sort of rules for it, but it just kind of. I mean, it's one thing. Also, it's worth noting. God, I'm going all over the place in my head right now. But, like, in this movie, you cannot trust any phone calls, period. I think every phone call, outside of a couple that Sidney did about the crisis line, were all just the killer.
Yeah. Yeah.
It got to a point where anytime somebody's talking on the phone, I'm just like, well, that's not actually the person. And every time it was right. Every time.
Or, or little theory, what if the killer was calling that crisis line for a long period of time?
Oh my God.
Like getting familiar and kind of trying to understand Sidney somehow through all that. I don't know. We later find out how batshit crazy he is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I wouldn't put it past his goofy ass.
So literally every single phone call in this movie is the killer.
Yes, maybe even several other previous 2 screen time started.
Oh yeah, sure. Why not? Let's go all in.
Not.
He also does it in 4 and 5, even though he's dead. Spoiler for 20-year-old movie. The killer's dead.
I mean, it fits the narrative.
Yeah.
So okay, and after Cotton and his girlfriend's death, we go to Sydney, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Looks like secluded in the woods. Like very private gate. She has a code.
Mm-hmm.
They have a dog, or she has a dog. I wouldn't call it a guard dog. It's a retriever. I don't know what that thing can do in the sense of protection. Maybe go get help, but
bark loudly.
Bark very loudly. Yeah, that's about it. But we later find out she does have a gun. Atta girl. She's smartened up. But we see that she lives by herself. She has kind of like still a little paranoid after, her life, but after her college and high school experience, rightfully so. I mean, she had a boyfriend try and kill her in high school, and some more, and then her boyfriend's mother and one of her classmates tried to kill her. So, I think it's right that, I would live alone in that situation, wouldn't you? And she's working at a crisis hotline where she gives counsel to women in distress through that's at least what she does as her job. And
Scream 3.
News on Hollywood. Yeah, so there's a murder, and Cotton was appearing in a movie called Stab 3.
Yes.
And he was killed. So we see police detectives trying to interview the cast, seeing what they know. The movie is potentially being shut down. And we get introduced to the majority of a cast, which is kind of looking very familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of looking a little bit like we see someone who's dressed up like Gale from the first film.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, we see a guy in a deputy outfit. It's obviously Dewey.
Yeah.
And we see someone who's kind of looking like very Sydney-esque. That's, not Tori Spelling.
Yeah, yeah.
Sydney in the previous 2 films.
Yeah, they
and
mentioned
a couple
about
of new
recasting.
faces. Yeah, a couple of new faces as well. And we hear chatter amongst them and how kind of nervous they all are, along with the director, who's played by Scott Foley, right?
That sounds right to me. Yeah, Scott Foley is Roman Bridger.
Yeah.
He is a completely unimportant character, and you should probably just forget about him. He means nothing.
Because he is just background fodder.
Yes. Honestly, to the movie's credit and issue, almost simultaneously, he is fairly easy to dismiss.
Yeah. Easy to dismiss.
Yeah, he's not very interesting, I find. He's just kind of whiny and annoying.
And just kind of, who is this? Every time he's ever in the scene, you always kind of go, who is it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the director.
That's right. That guy. What's his... Maybe they'll say his name and I'll know who he is then.
Well, I keep on having to correct myself because every time Lance Hendrickson pops up, like, you see him a little bit on that set and it seems like Lance Hendrickson's acting like the director. But he's just the producer. There's this other guy who's the director who never, like, acts particularly directorly on the set, but just kind of whines about the shit. So,
well, that's
him.
Bob, because, like, it's Lance Hendrickson.
Well, yeah, no.
He's magnetism.
Yeah, more Lance Hendrickson is always better, is my general motto.
He steals the scene in everything he's ever been in.
Yes. And he gets to be in the best Scream movie. If you don't count the other ones, okay?
I dig the character.
Yeah.
I really dug the character. Like, that was as close as, I guess, Kruger could get to mirroring Kevin Williamson's style of writing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was with that movie exec. And as we later find out, he's a lot like a lot of other executives that were loosely based with Miramax. Shocking.
Yeah. That wasn't a thing. That was...
Yeah.
But yeah, before we get too far, we gotta talk about who was outside the movie studio.
Snooch.
Yeah, Jay and Silent Bob
Fucking nooch.
were in line to get inside this movie studio. So I pose a question to you, Bobby. The View Askew-niverse. Kevin Smith's film universe.
Yeah. Well, are
Do
we
the three
talking
movies take place in
mostly-
it?
Maybe. I mean, well, it would be fair to say that because I don't know. I'm trying to think of any time during Scream where I've seen Nails cigarettes. That would be the dead giveaway.
Yeah. Well, Mooby the cow. Would be a nice little Easter egg to drop in there, yeah.
Well, I mean, I know that in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, there's the scene where they're making, like, Scream 5, I think.
Do they specify what the movie is?
I forget which one it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they specify which one it is, or you might see it on a marker, like a blink and you miss it sort of thing.
Yeah,
But, like, yeah, I remember that the killer was a monkey.
Yeah, it's Wes Craven directing Shannon Doherty and a monkey in a Scream-like movie.
And she like takes out a fucking monkey.
Yeah.
Wes, cut what? What? Like studies show people love monkeys.
Yeah, duh.
Jay and Bob steal it. You know, we love this monkey. See? I think what it is that I think Kevin and Wes met through Bob or Harvey, maybe.
Maybe.
And they became a friendship, or they got a friendship together, or I think it might have been while he was making, or maybe doing like Jersey Girl, or what was it? What is it he made? Yeah, he did make Jersey Girl before Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. It was after Jay and Bob.
No, it was after Jay and Silent Bob. Yeah,
it was that he was, and it would have been Dogma. So I think he might have been like while he was doing like interior set shooting for Dogma.
Yeah, Dogma was a year before this, so that's 100% possible.
Yeah, I think it was that. He was working on Dogma or something when they had first met. And I think, Wes said, if you ever have any idea for anything, like, let me know. And he happened to be there pitching, I think, the idea about like his next film while Wes was there, and he had Jay with him. So I think it was like while they were filming Scream 3, and he just like, and it's like, hey, Wes is doing something. Let's go stop by and say hey. Let's go like he brought Jay around. Hey, you want to meet Wes Craven? Let's go say hi. And that's how I think they got on this one. And then later, when he was making Jay and Bob, I think he called Wes like, hey, you want to be in my movie for like a minute?
Well, it does sync up with the story of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back fairly well, with them going to movie sets trying to find their movie. Right?
Yeah, I think it's on the commentary, like the DVD or the Blu-ray commentary for the film. Of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I think Kev talks about it, and I think that's what he says. Either way, those movies, all of Kevin's movies, the commentaries are like just as funny as the movie, if not funnier.
No, well, it's one of those things. Like, I am not a fan of a lot of his movies recently, but like he has his podcast and his videos and stuff like he does. Yeah, those things are fun as hell.
Yeah, I'll admit, Tusk was all right.
Tusk was half a good movie, and then as soon as Johnny Depp pops up, the whole thing goes off the rails very quickly.
Yeah, I will admit Johnny Depp was my least favorite part of that, and I haven't liked Johnny in anything since that.
God, that might be it for me too. He was so weird when he pops up in there.
He was okay in Public Enemies.
I haven't seen Public Enemies, so
he was okay, but he was playing a character. Christian Bale was better.
Yeah.
But Christian Bale is like a great actor.
Yeah. That's the thing. Johnny Depp's a great actor too, but he just gets...
He's way too Peter Sellersy.
Yeah,
it's like
very much
almost
so.
To the point of mockery where it's like, you're not back, Johnny.
You're not Peter Sellers, man. You're not.
You're not. And don't even try to be. I just want to smack him and go, that's a bad Johnny Depp.
Yeah, stop it.
With the spray bottles.
But yeah, so
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't be that rude to Johnny Depp. He's been through some hell. So I think that is the connection to it. It's on one of the commentaries.
Probably.
I think it is. It's some weird long, like, I know that Kev talks about it, and they're like way past that part by the time he's done telling the story. In the actual Jay and Bob movie. So like it's kind of funny because they have to like, oh yeah, so yeah, we were talking and I missed a bunch of stuff. Anyway, right here, look, it's Mark Hamill.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Mark Hamill, there is a cameo in this as very much worth noting.
It very much is.
It's probably the highlight of the entire movie. Is just her couple moments. Carrie Fisher, fucking awesome.
The fucking queen that she is.
God, she's literally making fun of herself in this movie too.
Yeah.
She plays a character. I don't remember the name of the character, but she was someone who lost the role of Princess Leia.
Yeah.
And according to her, the role went to whoever slept with George Lucas.
And Carrie Fisher slept with George Lucas.
Yeah, apparently, according to this character, yes. Yeah, no, that was just a fun cameo. You get some story stuff. That's the thing. So we have this home movie set.
Yeah, well, it's like a Hollywood setting.
Yeah.
First, like we're setting in Hollywood this is the film's setting. So it's kind of a new environment. Still California because Woodsboro took place. It was California, and it's like the college is Ohio, I believe, like Windsor, Ohio.
No, it might be. Yeah.
The fictional, or is there a Windsor in our state?
Oh fuck, I don't know. There's lots of cities I don't know
probably,
about.
That sounds like it would be an Ohio town. Especially a small college town.
Windsor, Ohio is an hour and 11 minutes away from me.
Oh,
yeah,
so
it's not too far
like
out. Yes, Scream 3, everybody's favorite Scream movie.
Yeah, like, and from what I've read from like the online fan base, like this is the most diverse like of the fan base. Like a lot of people like it, and a lot of people hate it.
Well, you see, I definitely wouldn't say I hate this. I don't even know if I'd go so far as to say as I dislike it, but it's definitely not remotely as good as the other two.
No, it is not as good as the other two.
Well, like I was even getting to, like they have this whole movie set, and yeah, they have that one like chase scene, but I don't really feel like they do a whole lot with the movie set outside the one like room that wasn't complete. Yeah. That felt like about it. Like they recreate Sydney's room, which actually I thought could have been interesting, but it doesn't feel like they do a whole lot even with that, even with the doors so much.
No, they just kind of did it almost as like a callback to it. Yeah.
Yes. And
what, I mean, she utilized it.
Yeah.
But, like it was the same, but like they did different things with it this time. Like she was going to run out of that one room that wasn't finished. Instead, she just hid and wait for Ghostface to run out and just fall on the bed.
Yeah. But I also feel like it's a missed opportunity because what a great setting would have been for the final like confrontation. It's the movie set. The killer has it all set up. And spoiler, the killer is the director. He could have set this all up and just been creepy as fuck with it. And they don't do that. It just...
They don't.
Yeah.
They let it go in the mansion, and the mansion is a nice set piece for the finale. I'll say it. I will give it that. It works, and it serves its purpose with the hidden passages. It's the... It's Lars Fredricksen's place, who is like a movie executive in the film. And it's his place. What is his actual name?
Lance Henriksen, you said it.
No, the character.
I know, but every single movie he's in since then is he's Lance Henriksen. Let's see.
His name is Bishop.
Bishop, of course it's a Bishop.
His name is Bishop. And he is a wealthy executive.
Of course he creates
synthetics. He creates synthetics.
John Milton.
John Milton.
Bishop's his middle name.
John Milton. Yeah, Bishop. Bishop Milton.
Yes,
that sounds badass.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Bishop Milton. But all right, the executives it's Milton's house. It's a big old palatial Hollywood estate in the hills, and it has a lot of those tellings of like old Hollywood, and this movie kind of plays off that noir sort of setting. Like they kind of, I'd say like they almost thread the needle with it.
Yeah.
The entire time, like they dance on that line, but never quite cross over into that genre. And that's kind of the aspect I really like about this movie.
Yeah, no, it's.
And I kind of wish they went more into the mystery end of it. The psychedelic experience, I guess, or the nightmare was weird in the film.
Yeah, I don't know if that was really necessary. Did Sidney have any nightmares in the second one?
No.
Yeah, I don't feel like it was necessary.
No.
It feels tacked on.
Why cast an actress for that? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Was that even the same actress?
If you're gonna do the dream sequence stuff, then like you want to do a thing where you're having Sidney question her reality, and they really didn't. I mean, maybe a little bit here or there, but not significantly. Not in the final act at all, that I recall. And that's where you really need to do it. Then,
one thing that we haven't brought up is the detectives who are
yes, we do got
investigating this murder of Cotton Weary at first. Because later Jenny McCarthy dies. And there was like, tragedy because Jenny McCarthy died. She's in this and she dies.
Yeah, and what a twist. I did not see that.
Yeah. I forgot. We forgot to mention that she's in this. But, and so
she's in it for like, 10 minutes max?
Yeah, and so are her boobs. For 10 minutes.
Yeah, she plays with her boobs a bit. It's like, whoa.
Bit. We first see her just... And it's like, oh, well, Jenny's here.
That's Jenny McCarthy for sure.
If anyone wants to know who she is, that was her.
Yeah.
That's mean. I don't mean that. But she's in it, and, she also dies. At this point, I believe, is when they shut down production altogether.
Yeah, I think it's when she dies.
Yeah, and after this, they are going to have a birthday party for Roman at Milton's house. And by this point, Gail, actual Gail, like Courteney Cox and Parker Posey, the actress portraying Gail in the film, are both sleuthing and trying to figure it out.
They're trying to out-Gail each other.
The whole time. And honestly, it's kind of great. Yeah. Because Parker Posey is just amazing.
No, Parker Posey is like great in everything she's in. I was disappointed when she died because, not the greatest character, but Parker. I'm cool with Parker Posey.
I am too. I think my favorite movie of hers has to be Dazed and Confused.
God, I need to rewatch it. It's been forever. It's been at least 10 years.
She is such a bitch. It's so beautiful.
They did do an interesting thing with the mirrors, though, for her death, which I kind of liked. It did come out of nowhere, but it was kind of cool.
But it's also kind of creepy because later we find out, like, the whole mystery that they're trying to solve is why the killer has been leaving clues at all the crime scenes, and all the clues that he's been leaving are old, like, headshots and publicity. Shots that actors would put out to try and get work of Sidney's mother, Maureen Prescott. Only she wanted the name Maureen Reynolds while she was here.
Well, let me double check that. I could have sworn it was something completely different.
No, as I said, I was like, that does not sound...
And now, I think it might have been... You said Reynolds. I think it was like Rena Reynolds.
Rena Reynolds. That's it.
Oh, yeah, we should probably bring up... Randy has a little cameo.
Yes, because they realized it was a dumb idea to kill him off in two.
Yeah, and it was. And, I mean, when your whole franchise is about being movie savvy to horror movies, and you kill off the one character who knows all the horror movies, like, in and out, probably not your best move.
It was Rena Reynolds.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it sounded right to me.
Yeah. I had to filter through all the actual Rena Reynolds. But yes, it was Rena Reynolds. That was the stage name, and they later find out that she had done a few cheap sci-fi flicks for John Milton.
Yes.
The horror director.
Yes, Lance Hendrickson.
Lance Hendrickson. I guess he made a bunch of cheesy B sci-fi sleazy slasher flicks, in the 70s. So, these are films that Bob and I pretty much could tell you it's just pretty much tits and gore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was in there. We later find out that a lot of adult themes happened at his parties.
Yes.
His parties were legendary in the 70s. So to kind of put it lightly, they were pretty much all the sleaziness that you could read on a QAnon page of, sleazy sex Hollywood parties.
Yeah.
And he also puts it in a real gross way. I cringed actually when I rewatched this.
Oh, how do you put it? I don't remember that specifically.
It was like, nothing happened to her that she didn't want to happen to her.
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, I don't care what happens to you. Good job.
Yeah.
Dead. Gross.
Yes. But yeah. They bring back Randy, and he simply tells him the rules to surviving the horror trilogy. Yeah, and honestly, I'm kind of surprised 4 didn't have a scene where it's like, oh, we have another videotape of Randy.
Oh, there was more to that tape.
Yeah. Was there in 4? I don't remember.
No, but Jamie Kennedy is just clearly older.
Yeah, that would be great. He's got like white hair now.
Clearly 40 pounds to his face now.
What?
I've heard him talk about how he was so pissed about that in 2. And just like, well, why the hell did you kill me off if you're going to bring me back for this little...
Yeah.
Like, what's the point? Like... And I know, like, when this one came out, he did get a really nice letter from Wes saying, look, there was an oversight. We miss you, and it was a mistake to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do have to say, like, your core 3 have become Sidney, Gale, and Dewey, and be frank, it'd probably make more sense if it was Sidney, Gale, and Randy.
It would be. It absolutely would have been, because they were the survivors that we first see after the death of both killers in the first.
Mm-hmm.
This is the moment when the supposedly dead killer comes back to life.
Not in my movie.
It absolutely would have made sense.
Mm-hmm.
But his sister, who is on set for some reason.
She is there to bring him the videotape, and that's it.
Yeah, and the camera stayed on her for like a weird thing. Like, it was kind of like, are you emphasizing something by that? Or
yeah, it was obviously like, hey, look at her, she's important.
Is she the killer? Is that what you're trying to tell me, movie?
No. In fact, after the characters see the videotape, we're never gonna mention this again.
Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah.
I don't, like I said, I haven't seen 4 in a while. I don't even think she's back in 4. Which is, I feel like part of the problem also with this movie is that now we have a core 3, and I feel like hopefully 5 is different, but I feel like every movie after this, we're going to have the core 3, and then there's supporting characters, none of which will ever come back.
Maybe
and
one
most of which will die.
I feel that this might be the passing of the torch movie.
What, 5?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. How many more Scream movies do they want to make?
I don't know. I don't think Courteney or Neve want to anymore. I think the only one who would still be down to do it would be David, but I also don't think that he'd also be okay with probably dying at any moment.
Well, he's, I mean,
but he would still like stay on like behind the camera, like producer or something like that.
I mean, no offense to Dewey or David, but out of the 3, I would consider him least important.
Yeah. I mean, like, I know from what I remember of 4, he was the sheriff of Woodsboro.
Well.
Yeah. So, I mean, hey, you got your job back, Dewey.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I'm sure, like, you could have gotten it back because, of what you did when you were just a deputy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how many times do you have to get stabbed as a deputy to get a promotion?
Well, he just got stabbed the once, I think, in 1. And I think he got knifed a few times in 2.
Yeah.
A couple of times.
Yeah.
I honestly thought he was dead in 2.
Yeah.
There he goes.
He has moments in both 1 and 2 where it's like, yeah, he's dead, right?
Yeah, no.
And then he's just back. Watch the next one. In this one, they'll cut off his head. In Scream 5, they're going to cut off his head. And the next one, he's just back.
And
he has little stitches.
The end credit scene, it shows someone stitching his head together.
Think like the Kurgan, except not evil or even remotely badass. Just
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Imagine if the Kurgan was played by David Arquette. But it's a missed opportunity. I feel like the next to last set should have been the mansion. Then the final set should have been something to do with the movie set to bring it back home. Because you kind of can. You can do it in a really meta way easily. Yeah.
Like, they could have maybe even had, like, them meet Milton at his home. And that way it would have gotten that out. They, maybe one of them would have left to go use the restroom or whatever. The other's just looking around. They come back in to say, all right, Milton, thank you for talking to... They find him dead and then have a small chase scene in there.
Yeah.
But they get out, fine, whatever. And then have, like you said, the movie set be the finale.
Yeah. And it could almost be like a Mysterio thing, considering he's the director. He would know, everything about that set. And that set is modeled after the Scream world from the first movie. So it'd be a great callback, and they could do freaky shit with it even better.
Yeah.
And they just don't do a whole lot with it, which was disappointing. That being said, Roman is just kind of thrown in there. He dies. Then
we need
he's
to
not dead.
Reveal who Roman is first.
Oh well, yes.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, where Roman fakes his death before the reveal.
Mm-hmm.
And when he does the reveal, even Sidney kind of has a, huh?
Yeah.
Which is, as I always say, hey, I'm right there with you, Neve. I have no idea who this guy is.
It's like, really? Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because when I saw this in the theater, I'll admit I did see this when it came out in the theaters. I even went, what?
Yeah.
And I know I wasn't alone.
Yeah.
A few people were like, what? Oh.
Yeah.
Kevin, you are sorely missed.
Yeah. But you know what? It wouldn't be a horror franchise if we didn't have a long lost brother.
All right. Let's just wrap it up. Yeah, let's just wrap it up. Long lost brother, half brother at that.
Yeah. Well, it's
fucked her 6 ways from Sunday.
Yeah.
And so apparently he's the product of John Milton and Rena Reynolds.
Yeah.
He always knew her as Reynolds. He said he went to go track her down, had a new family, a new life. She didn't need me. And so he decided to record footage of his mom cheating on, Sidney's dad with Billy's father. God, I almost lost myself in that.
Yeah.
So he inspired Billy, so he started all of this.
Yeah.
So that is what we're told. And we also find the voice changer earlier. I believe that's Sidney. No, that's Gail and Dewey who find it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's also there's a few other actors there. They all die.
Yeah, everybody dies. Parker Posey is one of them. She dies.
Yeah. We also find out that the girl who was cast as the new Sidney screwed John Milton to get the part.
Yeah. Well, it's not.
So
yeah,
nothing's changed.
Yeah, same old.
Yeah.
But it's worth noting throughout this, there's a detective played by Patrick Dempsey, Kincaid, who is working with Sidney.
Raphael.
Yeah, trying to solve this case, and it's largely pointed to that he is the killer.
Oh yeah,
and he even has the weird stalker photo. He has this weird stalker folder for Sidney, which is weird as fuck.
And, yeah, and they red herring the fuck out of him.
Yeah. So there's almost, like, when it's revealed he's not the killer, I'm almost like, oh, that's surprising. I didn't expect that. But then when they reveal the actual killer, I'm like, really?
Upon my research, the original killers were going to be Roman and Patricia, the actress playing Sydney. I think Patricia was her name.
Oh, okay.
But it was supposed to be those two who were the killer. Like, it's... So, with that theory in mind, okay? So let's say that she killed Jenny McCarthy.
Yeah.
Think about that kill. Or think about the other actor, the guy, Randall, who worked at the video store, who was, not supposed to be a Randy replacement, or Ricky.
Yeah.
Ricky. How, he got thrown from a balcony. I highly doubt Roman snuck out of that casket, put on the outfit, chased all them around, and was able to go back into that casket, because I believe that's around the time they found his body. So it would have been her who, like, straight threw him off the balcony. Yeah. So I kind of did watch it with that lens, because I had read that theory, and I was like, oh, that's fascinating, because that was a little known that was the original plan, to have the two of them be the killers. Yeah. And have it be some, like, crazy, like, she's madly in love and she wants to see her love's vision come to life, and he just used her as somebody to help, take out some people. Yeah. He takes her out eventually, and then we had pretty much the same climax. That was just what I've read that alleged plot point was going to be, or how it would have turned out. Probably would have made it a little better. Maybe. I think... I don't know. It's not... Like I said, it's not a bad movie. It definitely has its moments. Carrie Fisher is fantastic in it. Yeah. I do feel like there's this
Carrie
Fisher is fantastic.
There's this over-focus on Sydney's mom. Because, like, I feel like after the first movie, things should probably more revolve around Sydney. And here, I feel like it more revolves around Sydney's mom, and Sydney is just, like, the progeny, which, I guess they try to loop it in by trying to say he's responsible for getting Billy on it, so it's clunky. It's very, very clunky, very, very forced.
Very clunky.
It's the worst of the three. I thought it's fine. It had potential more than anything. Yeah. But I thought it's entertaining enough to watch, but yeah, it's definitely the weaker of the three so far.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Definitely the weaker of the three. Am I ready for the John Cena hustle?
Yeah. Yeah, kinda.
He looks so focused in that opening credits that he is not gonna mess up at all.
Well, that opening credits is kind of amazing.
It really is just superb. Now, every time I watched it, I'll admit, I was always like, is that Robert Patrick? Well, hot damn, that's Robert Patrick.
Yeah, he gets his little cameo, and yeah, the opening credits is one of those things where it's like, the first time I watched it, I was like, what the fuck? And then pretty much every time after that, I was 100% on board. I'm not skipping the credits.
Yeah, the first time I was watching it, just kind of got like, all right. And then it said James Gunn. I was like, and just smiled like, I got it. Yeah, that's why the dance number. James Gunn. This has his fingerprints all over it.
Yeah, he wrote and directed all three of these episodes. I was wondering, we'll have to see if he does the whole series. I didn't realize he'd be that involved.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like with Boba Fett. I'm surprised how much Jon Favreau's fingerprints are on this one.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm very happy with it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of flabbergasted that people are hating on it.
Or is anybody hating on Peacemaker? I haven't looked up reviews on it at all.
I haven't either. I haven't read any. But I don't think a lot of people. I think a lot of people sleep on the DC stuff because the movies haven't, had that great of a track record. And I mean, a lot of people slept on Birds of Prey, and I thought that was phenomenal.
Yeah, Birds of Prey is very underrated. I actually like that more with repeat watching. So I actually had to watch that for a video and study it. It's pretty fucking good. I wish they'd given Black Mask a better death, but largely it's pretty good.
Yeah, I was thoroughly impressed with it.
But the Suicide Squad was my favorite of the DCEU.
Yes.
Yes, this is the first DCEU's TV series, I believe.
Would you? Yeah, because
is there something I'm thinking of?
I want to say Doom Patrol, but have they made any mention of like the events from the DCEU?
No, actually, no. Crisis has identified that all Doom Patrol, I think, is actually its own Earth.
Okay.
So it's separate. Oh yeah, and Cyborg would be different. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think there's been one before this, which is an interesting character to put out there initially. I will say I'm kind of surprised I haven't seen a whole lot of buzz. Usually when there's something new out, I see a whole bunch of buzz on like the DC forums and stuff like that. But nothing really on this. Mostly people just complaining about Zack Snyder, which, oh my god, I'm so sick of that conversation. Oh my god.
Oh, what has Snyder done that's terrible?
Yeah. It's not an overdone conversation, but yes, James Gunn.
I mean, he's not the worst director ever to handle a DC property.
Not by a long shot, but
no.
But yeah, it does seem like now the DCEU is kind of in James Gunn's control almost. It almost feels like that because that's all we've gone from the DCEU for a little bit now.
Yeah, and I know that Gunn has like the next Guardians movie, and I don't know if he's going to do any more Guardians movies with them.
No, to my understanding, they're kind of the Warner Brothers are kind of giving the DCEU more or less to him, kind of like Snyder had control for a bit. Now it's going to be Gunn's turn almost.
Yeah.
Now he is contractually obliged to do Guardians 3, which I assume he wants to do anyway because he had that all written before he was fired, which is a whole separate story.
Yeah, and that is.
I know, or I don't know, but I imagine Kevin Feige is still very upset about it. But he also signed on to do the Guardians holiday special, which should be fun. And I think like they're kind of like giving him open sandbox with the DCEU more or less, which might be where this series came from, because Peacemaker is an interesting character to go off of and make a series out of. I know after watching the Suicide Squad, I was like, where's the Bloodsport series?
Yeah. Where's like, I kind of want one of Harvey Dent.
Yeah.
But like pre-Two-Faced Harvey Dent.
Ooh, you could do like a courtroom drama. Do like a season of a courtroom drama.
Yeah. And we all know the ending.
Yes.
We know the ending. But we can make it as ambiguous. But how I would end that series is I'd never show him as Two-Face.
Mm-hmm.
I would do the end credit scene of just the coin flip, and maybe just a gloved, little scarred hand.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
And then a closing, and then just like, a character steps in, but only half of them steps in.
Mm-hmm.
It's the clean-faced Harvey. And it'd be like the luck of the coin, and then end it there. I would never show him as Two-Face, just maybe a finger or a thumb as that, but that's it. I'd have him wanting more, man.
Nice.
Gotta get him to come back. You gotta get him to come back.
Yeah.
But this, Peacemaker. So I guess this picks up immediately after the events of Suicide Squad and the chocolate-covered starfish.
Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, you're not wrong on that one. I don't think that starfish was chocolate covered though. I don't
know. Well, I mean, maybe chocolate flavored.
Yeah, I don't know. Ask the rats.
Maybe.
Did that starfish taste like chocolate?
Or was it more hot dog water that it tasted like?
Yeah.
So they revive him, bring him back to life, because he's a super soldier, and
Well, I mean, I think they even mentioned like he got shot in the neck and a building fell on him, and then he's more or less as unscarred as you can get from that experience. And they're just like, how the fuck did that happen?
Yeah, he's pretty much unfazed.
Yeah, he's got a scar on his neck now. That's it.
Yeah. So it follows him on his missions and what he does, pretty much.
Yeah, he's recruited by, and I cannot think of the character's name, but essentially it's like a new version of the Suicide Squad. And I actually kind of think it's going towards something like that. Because I think the other people, like, we get a couple returning characters from the Suicide Squad that were on Amanda Waller's team.
Yeah, they were the ones who kind of knocked her out before she was going to kill them all.
And they're the ones that kind of turned against her. And I kind of feel like maybe there's going to be a reveal where like all these people have bombs in their head. Because it is established, Peacemaker still very much has his bomb in his head. They're tracking him through it. Oh yeah, and Viola Davis does have a little brief cameo in the beginning, which not the beginning, end of episode 1.
Yeah,
which I thought was a fun thing. Established that one of the people working with them is her daughter, which I didn't see coming.
No, I didn't either.
No, they're just having a normal like business conversation, and then at the end, she just goes, "Bye, Mom," and it's like, whoa. Oh yes, Clemson Mern is the guy who's in charge of this operation, who's working under Amanda Waller.
Yeah.
Oh yes, and we do have to talk about the best member of the team by a mile, and that is, of course, Eagly. Eagly is epic.
That is so awesome.
No, so Peacemaker has a pet eagle named Eagly, and greatest name ever, just gotta say, and greatest pet ever. The eagle is so fucking awesome in this.
The eagle is great.
I'm sure it's just computer generated, but looks great.
It does. It looks really good.
There's that scene where the eagle literally hugs Peacemaker, and it's like, okay.
It's just like, oh, that's so wholesome.
One thing I do think is interesting is, and it might explain what they did a Peacemaker series instead of a Bloodsport series or Ratcatcher 2. And it's because Peacemaker is evolving. We're seeing this. A lot of episode 2, we're seeing how he's evolving. I love the moment where he's just freaking out. And he's like, Rick Flag was right. You killed him, and he was right.
That is the one thing I didn't like about that Suicide Squad movie, them killing Rick Flag.
I know. It made me actually care about Rick Flag, because you know how little of two shits I would have cared if Rick Flag died in the first one?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have cared. But in the second one, I cared. I was like, oh no!
You motherfucker.
Yeah. No, it's part of the reason why I wasn't super excited for a Peacemaker series, because, like, what? We get a series on the fucking murder of Rick Flag? Fuck him.
No, fuck that guy. Yeah. Fuck that guy. Fucking can't see my ass, motherfucker.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not seeing that guy at all.
I can't see it because I'm not going to fucking watch it, Cena.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lie. That's a lie.
No, we did watch it. Yeah. It's fun. You can definitely tell James Gunn's having his fun. He's doing the 80s hairband theme to this series.
Yeah.
And it's not even like the obvious ones. It's like the second tier ones.
Yeah, it's like the true deep cuts.
Yeah. Digging deep into the lore of hair metal.
We also see Peacemaker in the first episode go to a bar and try to pick up on a woman.
Oh, we did see him try to pick up on Harcourt.
Yeah. There's that one, yeah.
Was there another one?
No, I think he just shows up at the apartment, or like they just cut to the apartment, or I think either I thought I missed it or they just cut to it. But anyways, he meets somebody that he decides to sleep with that night, who later turns out to be some sort of a super assassin.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever explained what the hell was going on there.
Yeah, well, it looks like butterfly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like there's butterflies all over the world. And
that's right.
Yeah, he talks about how Project Starfish was a giant starfish, so now I'm going to be fighting Mothra. And he's not 100% correct, but he's not 100% wrong either.
No.
No, it appears to be aliens, and they look like butterflies. And there's a senator that's one. And I'm not even sure how it works, but like, yeah, if their face gets blasted off, they like crawl out. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's also slightly horrifying.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. By the way,
slightly horrifying.
Hard R TV series. Just gonna say that.
Oh, hard TVMA for violence and gore. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I was just kind of like, oh, it's that type of show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we haven't even talked about his sidekick, Vigilante.
As I've said a million different times, James Gunn, you need to do horror or you need to do it more.
Yeah.
Like, my God, man. Yeah, his sidekick.
Yeah, Vigilante is weird.
I did love the bromance bonding scene in the woods of them just blowing shit up and shooting trees.
Yeah. Well,
there's kind of.
I think the scene that will always define Vigilante for me is when they take off the mask, and his immediate reaction is like, "If I make weird faces, you won't be able to identify me." So he's literally just there making the weirdest faces you could possibly think of. It's just like, that's not how that works, dude. I think my daughter spent a few minutes after that just making weird faces so we couldn't recognize her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, goddamn! I wish I would have thought of that. I would have brought in some more props then. You know, like I would have brought in the Nixon mask and just been.
Oh God. Oh,
I've been working on a few different ones.
We also got to bring up Batmite is in the DCEU, firmly established, and now he needs a movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, it's kind of what I appreciate about James Gunn. Like, we'll see what if the DC or Warner Bros. Decides to stick with the James Gunn direction. But I kind of appreciate how he's not afraid to just go into all the goofy shit. Like, fuck it, man. Sure, we'll do hard R-rated stuff, but we're doing the goofy shit too. We're doing.
Well, one thing I think is interesting, and I think that it plays to DC's advantage, or at least could definitely play to DC's advantage, is that they still have a lot of the intellectual film rights to all their properties.
Yeah.
They don't, like, there's none that I don't think any other franchise or any other studio owns.
Yeah.
Or at least to the best of my knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they own their Titans right now, which I'd say their Titans as of this moment are obviously Superman, Batman,
Wonder Woman,
and Wonder Woman. Yes, I don't know. They need to come up with a great third installment.
Yeah. Well,
my opinion though.
Well, yeah. Well,
Aquaman. They're definitely kind of hoping that he will too. I know they have a Flash movie coming out.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to that one actually.
Yeah, no, it should be fun. It's that's gonna be a Flashpoint though, and I know lots of people have talked about Flashpoint as the first Flash movie. Not the best starting point, but okay, I see why.
It certainly is asking a lot for your casual movie-going audience.
Yeah,
it certainly is asking a lot of them. You are wanting them to suspend their suspicion of disbelief quite a bit.
And then, like, the current story is after that movie, like, Ben Affleck's Batman will no longer be the main DCEU Batman. It'll now be Michael Keaton's.
Or Robert Pattinson's.
No, they're saying it's going to be Michael Keaton, but that's where I'm going to come in and say I think it's bullshit. It's going to be Robert Pattinson.
Maybe they're going to do, no, they're already establishing him as Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
Which I saw some production stills of that yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I saw some of both the villains of Colin Farrell.
Yeah,
I think isn't he cast as Penguin?
Yeah, they cover him up with makeup, and it's like whoa,
dude, he looks a little scary.
Oh yeah, he looks great in that.
He looks intimidating. Yeah, and I've also seen some of Paul Dano as the Riddler. Pretty excited. Excited. He looks very terrifying and menacing.
I'll confess, Paul Dano is one of those actors I'm not usually thrilled with, but I really like the idea of him as Riddler. So now I have a serious question for you, Bobby.
Yeah.
Berenstein Bears or Berenstain Bears?
Berenstein Bears.
Oh, you got it wrong.
That's how I remember saying it as a kid.
You know what? When I grew up, that's how I remember seeing it. But now that I see it written, and I'm like, yeah, no, there's definitely an A there.
Berenstain Bears, yeah.
Berenstain Bears, yeah. No, they have that debate at the end of the show. And of course, I can't watch that debate and not think of Angry Video Game Nerd, because he did that huge fucking episode about that one thing.
Yeah. Actually, a good buddy of mine, when that started first making the rounds of everything, he had sent me a picture of some of his books from childhood and going, I think I could settle this right now. He's like, God, I could have sworn. And I went, yeah, me too, dude.
Yeah, no, I remember his Berenstain Bears too, and it's wrong.
Yeah, we all just remembered it wrong.
I guess my daughter looked up, from one of the authors was saying, yeah, even growing up as a kid, lots of times people would pronounce or just write their name as Berenstein, and it's not.
So it was just a common misunderstanding.
Yeah, exactly.
No phenomena behind it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a cross-dimensional rift where some people grew up in a dimension where it's Berenstein and some people grew up in a dimension where it's Berenstein, and it crosses over.
Okay, and birds are drones. Okay.
That's. I think that's more realistic than just people's memories being a little buggy.
Yeah, and birds are drones.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely, birds are drones.
All birds, not just some, all.
Let us not forget about the mass genocide of 20 million birds by our U.S. government. Actually, none of that ever happened. I have no way of even proving if any of that happened. That is just a crackpot of some comedian who thinks he's hilarious.
Ooh.
There's a documentary about that. Birds aren't real.
Well, you know who is real? Eagly.
Eagly. He is real.
I don't care if he's computer generated, he's real.
He is. He lives on in the hearts of true patriots.
And you know, one thing I want to look up, I don't know if you got around to it, Robert Patrick. Completely different, but somehow now I'm realizing similar names.
Yeah.
They were calling him something in the end of episode 2, I want to say.
Augie Smith.
Yeah, but what were they calling him?
Oh, I forget what they were calling him. They were chanting something, but it looked like they were kind of like, saluting him in a certain manner.
Yeah.
And form.
And in case you're wondering, his father is the guy who makes all the helmets, so Peacemaker has all these helmets with different features. I guess they don't show that in Suicide Squad.
No, they really don't.
But yeah, he blows up one of the aliens with that sonic boom or whatever it was. It was just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So his father's a genius and also super racist.
Yeah, he is really racist.
Not to be too subtle about it, when we see Peacemaker walking into his dad's place, his dad has on the TV what appears to be a guy who looks a lot like Rush Limbaugh doing an Alex Jones thing.
Oh, I kind of was like, oh, this is, I have no idea what they're talking about, and I'm disgusted.
Yeah, no, it's. So I got a bit on him. They call him White Dragon, which sounds super familiar.
White Dragon.
And in DC lore, that has a legacy name used by many different supervillains associated with white supremacy, and the name is a reference to the Ku Klux Klan.
Oh, shocking.
I know. Well, I mean, flows right in.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense for the character. I assumed it was something like that. I thought there'd be a bit more to it than that. I guess I have to go into the individual characters here.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't think I learned anything new there, because that's exact. Like, if you asked me to guess what White Dragon was, I probably would have said something like that. It's definitely a white supremacy thing, right?
I'm sure it's something racist. Yeah, I'm sure it's something racist.
With his dad, it's something super racist.
So while I was waiting for you to look that up, I was reading something in my book for that synthesizer I got. And in one of the pages, the past 50 years with Kraftwerk and David Bowie.
Damn.
That seems like it's just going to be an amazing chapter.
Nice.
All right, yeah.
But yeah, Peacemaker, I want to see how... This is almost like Book of Boba Fett for me, where I'm enjoying it, but I definitely want to see where it plays out.
Yes.
I do like how it seems like Peacemaker is kind of evolving. He is an idiot. It's worth noting he's very stupid.
He's very dense.
Yes. Which is shocking since he's invisible, right?
I mean, yeah, because that's always what he would say, and do this sort of thing. Which, I mean, if you're already invisible, I mean, why do that? You're just causing a breeze and confusing them anymore.
Yeah. But yeah, I want to see how it plays out. But yeah, I'm enjoying this a fair bit. Any final thoughts before we go on to Karate Kid 2?
I'm enjoying it too, but like you, I'm kind of just seeing it because this is kind of uncharted waters for DC and the DCEU. Yeah. So I'm excited to see where it goes. I like the direction.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of hope that I think that they're. I don't know. I kind of starting to think that like the comic hero thing is slowly, maybe like. I think Marvel kind of flooded it for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
So I think audiences aren't really rushing to see these.
Yeah.
But they'll find their audience. They'll find their audience.
Mm-hmm.
They will.
Well, I mean,
think people are hesitant because of DC's track record.
Yeah, that's what hurts DC. Because
I mean, I still think their greatest success is Shazam.
Oh yeah, Shazam. Well,
and before that, and now in James Gunn's Suicide Squad, but up to that, Shazam was their best.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well.
And I want that sequel, man.
No, well, that's definitely coming. So
I know. I can't wait for that one. I'm actually excited about that one.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with Black Adam too. Although I'm less excited for that. But I'm interested to see because it's The Rock, and The Rock's usually entertaining.
He's pretty good. I think it's overdue for him to be a superhero. Actually,
I know. Yeah,
and it's kind. I mean, he was the Scorpion King.
Yeah, and CGI for like the last half of that movie, really bad early 2000s CGI.
If you want to call that CGI, Bob, sure.
Yeah,
we'll call it that.
Sure. Is that giving me too much credit?
No, I that's like a screensaver.
Yeah. We got some PlayStation 1 graphics. Are you ready for
the Karate Kid?
Yeah.
Which actually, I thought the ending or the beginning of this was the ending of the first one, like I had mentioned last week.
Well, yeah, and last week I said that I thought they had filmed the beginning of this to be the ending of one, and then they just cut off and then moved it to here. And I was actually wrong. They planned it for to be the end of the first one, but they never shot it. They didn't shoot it until this one, which is why Allie isn't in it, which makes sense.
It doesn't matter. She dumps Danny anyways.
Yeah.
We don't need Allie. Fuck Allie.
Young love.
That bitch. She left our boy Danny.
She left him for a football player, which I thought was kind of a weak excuse. However, if they said she left him...
What was all the social class crap from the first one about then?
All the social class crap. If he had said she left me because she says I focus too much on the social stuff, I won't believe that so much faster.
Yeah, that would have been more viable because Danny couldn't get over that crap.
Yeah, that was one thing I didn't even bring it up last week. I meant to because it never felt like he actually got over it. Just felt like she goes, well, fuck it.
He's pretty.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. He won this karate tournament.
Ooh, it was fancy.
There we go. High level microphone.
Yeah. But yeah, Karate Kid 2. I'm going to start out with what I really like about this, because this is, overall, I would say this is mostly a good movie.
Yeah, mostly a great, it is a great, like, I guess it's a great story device to learn more about Miyagi in this movie.
Yes.
And that's something that I really took away more from this one. I think this is more about Miyagi, but like with, Daniel's son peppered in.
Yeah. In fact, I think this movie would have been just probably almost as good, or maybe just as good as the first one, if this was like a purely Miyagi story with kind of Daniel as a supporting cast member. Because his stuff is the best. The stuff with him and Sato, it's interesting in how that evolves and works out. Essentially, Miyagi came to America because he fell in love with his best friend's girl, and Sato challenged him to a duel to the death, and rather than fight him, he ran to America.
Yeah, he ran. And from that point on, Sato was just saying he was a coward.
Yes.
He's a coward. He ran away. He's a coward. He's a coward. But we later find out that Miyagi's father is ill, so he needs to go back to Tokyo.
Yeah.
Or no, not Tokyo, Okinawa.
Yeah, Okinawa, yes.
Yeah, Okinawa. And while he's there at Okinawa, when they land, him and Ralph Macchio, when they land, they're greeted by Mr. Intensity himself.
Yeah, Chozen. Over the top.
For real. But he was great, but my God, what was the actor's name? I can't remember the character off the top of my head.
Let's see. I don't know. The character was Chozen, but the actor...
Chozen, yeah. Chozen. Man, so he's the nephew of Sato. And, he first there to show them up like, goodwill. Yeah, we know your family is sick. We'll give you a ride. They take him out and they find out that Sato Industries have bought out most of the village, all the land. They were like mining the hell out of it. It looked like. Is that what they were doing? They really didn't say what it is that they were doing, or at least I must have missed it.
Clear.
Yeah, because it looked like they were just paving it and maybe mining.
Oh, I'm not going to attempt to pronounce Chozen's real name.
Okay, well, let's just go with Chozen then.
Yeah, Chozen. But before they go, it's worth noting Daniel joins this trip very last minute, and Mr. Miyagi's kind of against it because he's diving into his college money. To which my counter argument would be, how often does someone get a chance to go to Okinawa?
Yeah.
Dude, you go.
Get like
Holy
a different
shit.
get like an event, the opportunity to see Okinawa from the perspective of a true person from Okinawa.
Yeah.
Like the true Okinawan experience.
Yeah. That's a no-brainer. I'm sorry.
I would have done that too, and I fell in love with some of the stuff when I saw in this movie. I got to tell you, Bob. I was looking at some of those. I think I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciations, but sashimi, those guitar things.
Okay, yeah.
Guitars. Yeah, those look cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to buy one.
Yeah. Well, I love the village stuff. I love the conflict between Sato and Miyagi because it makes sense to get mad at him for running away, and it also makes sense that Miyagi ran away because sometimes the greater part of valor is not being there.
Yeah, and we also find the girl that Miyagi fell in love with never married.
Yeah,
because he was gone.
And that's pretty much Miyagi's biggest mistake, is that he didn't take her with him.
That was his biggest mistake. Yeah, even I remember even watching the first one, he talked I was just thinking why didn't he get her? He's an idiot.
Yeah.
You're a fool? Go get her. But, I mean, he didn't get her out of honor.
But he, we find out he does eventually later get a wife and a child, and that of course ends tragically. But he did get a life after that, and
he did.
And yet, had tragic as it was, But I do feel like it's not really explored the relationship he really should have had with Yuki. Yeah, there should have been more with the relationship between him and Yuki. In fact, I feel like the relationship between Daniel and Kumiko really should have been replaced with the relationship between Miyagi and Yuki. Kumiko is Daniel's new love interest, in case you're wondering. And I don't have any problem with the character, except I don't feel like Daniel needs a new love interest except to be like the first one.
Yeah, I felt this was shoot-in.
Yes. This is a good Miyagi movie mashed in with a rehashed Daniel movie. Just mashed together. And it feels it sometimes. It Chosen is like Johnny, like, but like really fucking piece of shit Johnny. Like
he's like Johnny to 11.
Yeah, he's like sadistic Johnny. Like Johnny, like you could even see at the end Johnny had his limits. And Chosen's like all in. Fuck this. Fuck Daniel. He's going after him. And Jesus.
Jesus, buddy.
like the worst thing Daniel does to him is he exposes that he's a con man.
Yeah.
And Chosen will not forgive him for that. And it's like, dude, you're the one doing the con.
Yeah, you're the one ripping people off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, but kind of fuck you.
Kind of like you fucking had this coming.
Yes, exactly.
There's a phrase where I come from, and it's called "eat shit and live."
Yeah, I think the Chosen stuff is very forced. I feel like the heart of the movie should have been, it really wasn't, but it should have been, and at times it kind of was, the relationship between Sato and Miyagi.
Yeah.
Because that's interesting, and there's a lot to explore there. But then...
No, there was a lot that I feel we could have gone back into with that one in particular. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel that I wanted to see, like, I don't know, maybe this is just me asking too much for it, but, like, maybe even seeing clips of their friendship way back when.
Yeah.
Long times ago, yeah. Like that, like stuff like that, so we could have had a better understanding of their friendship and, like, the roots that it had. Mm-hmm. But I mean, we also see by the end of the film that, you know, once they've made their peace with each other, all, like, you know, everything is fine and right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that was, I mean, I saw it coming, but it was a very nice touch.
Oh, yeah, it was very nice. Like I said, the Miyagi stuff here is so goddamn good. Probably I'd say the worst aspect of the Miyagi stuff is that there isn't more of it. And I put this in the notes. Daryl Vindel, who did the stunt work for Miyagi in the first one, does not return for this one. And he has a very brief fight scene in this one, and he's missed. Pat Morita is not great in the actual karate stuff, but he's so good in the role.
Yeah, he's still good in the role. And I do agree with, like, as we mentioned about this earlier, like that early fight or that last fight really seemed tacked on there.
Yeah, it felt like, you know, everything was kind of done, and then Chosen takes Daniel's girl Kimiko hostage and challenges them to a fight to the death. And I'm not gonna lie, I remember as a kid thinking, oh wow, this is actually a fight to the death, that's crazy. And now as an adult, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is tacked on. I feel like the movie's over.
Yeah.
But we're doing this.
Yeah, I kind of felt like they were having their celebration.
Yeah.
And like, why doesn't this whole village just beat this kid's ass right now?
Nobody is supporting Chosen at this point. Everybody is behind Daniel, the whitest kid in Okinawa. I mean, you gotta seriously have fucked up to get.
Why does that sound like a tagline to, like, the greatest hip hop album of all time? The whitest kid in Okinawa.
Yeah, that could work. But when the foreigner comes to your town and everybody's supporting the foreigner, man, you know you're a fucking jerk.
Yeah, you know you're an asshole.
God. It's good. It's definitely not remotely as good as the last one, but
it's not as good as the first one, no. But our boy Danny did try that crane kick, and it didn't work out.
That was kind of funny seeing that crane kick again.
I remember I seen him do that. I even said, like, "What the fuck are you doing, Danny?"
Yeah, well, I always thought it was weird in the first one how he talked about how it's unblockable. It's like, I can think of a whole bunch of ways to block that.
Nope.
There's several ways to block it. Dodge it.
I
sweep kick him.
I just, like, will take a page out of, like, you know, what I studied as a kid, which was, you know, Stooge Foo.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Karate Kid 2.
Yeah.
Worth watching if you haven't seen it in a while.
It is. It's streaming on Peacock with ads.
Yes. Yeah, no, that's actually the choice I had to bring up to my daughter. It's like, are we going to watch this in HD with ads or in standard definition with no ads? We watched it in standard definition.
I watched it with ads. They were so unnoticeable. Like, I didn't...
Were there a lot of ads with this one? I know the first one was just loaded. No. Okay.
A little bit, like, in the beginning, and then the middle kind of played, and it was kind of heavy, but, like, that whole fight scene at the end. Like, the whole ending conflict scene in the storm, no ads the whole time.
Nice.
So that part, the only part was, like, at the end, when the end, right before the end, it went to a commercial. And then we had one small scene and then the credits. And I was like, what? Really? that took away the whole momentum of like the feel right there. So I did like scroll back and it did kind of end abruptly.
Yeah, no, the movie does end abruptly. Like they do the final fight and the end, literally.
Yeah, because I had said that I had watched 2 immediately after watching 1 last week. So I needed to refresh it. And I kind of... Yeah, I did kind of forget that did end rather abruptly.
Yeah.
Just like the first one, that ended rather abruptly.
I mean, Daniel asked Kimiko to go with him to America, and then there's this conversation with Miyagi and Yuki about whether or not she'll go with them, and they never fucking answer this. And I think it's obvious.
It'll be addressed next week.
Yeah, possibly when we cover 3.
Hillary Swank. No.
Yeah, I'm just going to assume it's because the filmmakers knew they didn't want to bring them back because they want to keep these guys singles for new girlfriends, which is so lame.
Yeah, that's how they could just get a new girl in there, like one that they could mac on, like a Bond girl or like the girl that's, Bruce is going to be banging in a Batman movie when they announce so-and-so is in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's Nicole Kidman's overly sexualized.
Oh God, Nicole Kidman was a character made for that type of role.
I mean, like easy down, girl, heel.
But yes, Karate Kid 2, very, very okay.
I have to say the bookies parlor with the sheets of ice was like my favorite part.
I'm not gonna lie, that scene is kind of abrupt. It's just kind of there, but it was fucking cool.
It really was. Where he's just like, I can't cover that, and it's like, oh, what's up, man? Yeah. Miyagi came in, and now you're not talking so much shit. Mm-hmm. What's up with that? Oh, your uncle's here, and you still ain't talking that shit.
Well, there was also, I want to talk about that hook scene where, man. Like, Miyagi does this thing where he dodges a hook, and Daniel wants to try it out. So, of course, Miyagi sets it up, but he protects him. He puts, like, a cork over the hook so it can't actually get him. And it does knock Daniel down, so it would have been really bad if it got him.
And then he got up again, and it hooked his shirt.
Yeah, and then he tried one without a cork on it, and it almost got him. And I just love Miyagi's response. Yeah, I did the same thing when I was your age. My dad said it was stupid. He was right. He
was right. Yeah.
Like, yep.
Yeah.
That was some dumb shit.
That's some stuff I could say. Like, I asked my dad about it when I was a kid. He said I was stupid for doing it. Mm-hmm. He was right. He was right.
Yeah, it just occurred to me we don't really have next week planned because this week was just all of a sudden switched
on the fly. Yeah, this one we had to do on the fly midweek. So
yeah, because it was just like shit. Omicron's everywhere. Let's not go to theaters.
Truly living up to our name right now.
Yes, living up.
We
to
actually
name.
padded this. This one actually padded out longer than I thought we would.
Yeah. That's usually about what we do on like 3 topics.
Yeah, this is about because like we both let our ADD shine on here sometimes.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's a good.
Wait, what?
It's a good squirrel.
Squirrel.
Squirtle.
But what next week? Do we want to do Scream 4?
Yeah, let's talk 4.
Yeah, okay, we'll do Scream 4.
Or what we could do is we could wait 12 episodes.
Yeah. Well, we could do Scream 4, is there anything else? Should we do Karate Kid 3 next week? Just to keep it going?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we could do that to keep it going. And, I don't know. I mean, the 2 Bob Saget movies I brought up that I think that we should cover. The 2 I have off the top of my head are, we have Farce of the Penguins.
Yeah. I've not heard of it, no.
Oh, you haven't heard of this?
Yeah.
Okay, so you remember March of the Penguins, of course.
Oh, yeah.
How that won an Oscar, or it was getting Oscar buzz or whatever.
Yeah.
Bob Saget thought it was kind of ridiculous that a bunch of stock footage is winning Oscars. So he decided that, you know what, I could give one that would be, if it's that easy to make a movie, fuck, I'll make one. So he wrote an entire story with Bob Saget-esque humor, the whole thing, about a whole bunch of penguins going to one destination to bang. Because that's pretty much what the penguins are doing in the footage. And it has a lot of voice talent on there that is amazing.
Oh, wow.
Tracy Morgan is on it, yeah. It follows 2 main ones, which are Bob Saget and Louis Black.
The main narrator is Samuel L. Jackson. Oh, that's a brilliant counter to Morgan Freeman. Oh.
So, yeah, Bob Saget said, well, fuck, I could make one. This movie is, definitely something I'd say you really only know unless you know.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Also, the other choice I would have brought up would have been Dirty Work.
Dirty Work.
Starring Norm Macdonald.
Oh.
Starring Norm Macdonald and Artie Lang, because Bob Saget wrote and directed that as well.
I lean towards Farce of the Penguins, but do you have...
That's cool, yeah.
do you really want to do Dirty Work? Cause...
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, I'm good with both. I'm actually great with both because both are funny as hell.
Okay, so we'll do Farce of the Penguins in honor of Bob Saget.
I'd say that Dirty Work is way more nostalgia than anything else because Chris Farley's also in that movie too.
Oh, wow. Wow, when was that movie made?
90s, mid-90s.
Oh, shit. I didn't even know.
Norm still had his curly, lanky hair, and he still looked really teenagey in early 20s. Norm still looked young. Artie still had his original nose.
Oh, wow. I remember when that movie came out.
Yeah, Chris Farley makes jokes about a Saigon whore who bit his nose off.
Ooh. All right, so right now, let's do Farce of the Penguins, Karate Kid 3, and Scream 4.
Scream 4.
And then we will figure out exactly what we're going to do with Scream 5 at some point.
Yeah, we'll hammer it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Because I do want to see it.
I do too, and not watching I have to preload up shit for YouTube. Because No Way Home was spoiled, and guess what? Same channels are popping up with them. There's a guy who dropped a spoiler video the day it came out.
No, spoiler videos come out fast and furious, I feel like. I don't know. Like I said, I actually avoid lots of movie commentary stuff anymore just because I don't want to influence my stuff too much. I don't... Yeah, you got
Sorry. Sorry, yeah.
The new official theme music. Nice.
Oh, this will be so much fun to annoy my wife with.
Oh. So coming next week, Bobby's divorce.
Yep. Either that or my public execution.
Oh, shit. All right. So, yeah, I think we're good.
All right.
Before we go into any more marriage difficulties.
Yeah. Oh, that was just harmless fun.
Well, everyone have a good one.
All right. Take care.
I want to go ahead and add some audio credits at the end here. The theme music you're hearing at the beginning and end of this podcast was written and performed by George Johnson, a very good friend of mine. And my current Patreons are Fel Martins, David Lara, and Lindsay Pankhurst. If you'd like to become a patron, go ahead and follow the link down below. Anything you can provide would be incredibly helpful to this channel. We're barely limping by right now. I'd love to make this my full-time job. I'm miles away from that right now, so any help you could provide, just $1 a month would be amazing. You know you want to. All your friends are doing it.